Well, it's a big day today. We've spent the last few days studying the weather charts, Predict Wind, which is our favourite weather app, and looking at it, I say, and trying to find the window to cross Biscay, across the Bay of Biscay, which, if you don't know, has a bit of a reputation for being difficult at times. But we believe we've got our window, and we're going to set off today.
As its name suggests, the Bay of Biscay, or the Golfe de Gascogne in French, Golfo de Vizcaya in Spanish, is a large body of water that lies between the southern coast of Brittany in France and the northern coast of Spain. Its somewhat fearsome reputation stems from the fact that it's completely open to the entire Atlantic Ocean and its prevailing southwesterly winds, that the coastal areas experience quite strong tidal effects, and the fact that when crossing the bay, north to south or vice versa, you cross the continental shelf twice, once about 100 miles south of the coast of France and once again about 30 miles north of the coast of Spain, where depths change dramatically from some 15,000 feet to just a few hundred feet. Our plan was to make the 265 sea mile or 530 kilometre long trip starting in Ile-de-Groix off of the Brittany coast and heading to Gijón in northern Spain. We anticipated this trip would take us 3 or 4 days and nights.
Well, it's a big one. We are setting off to cross Biscay. We just rounded the end of Ile-de-Groix, the western end of Ile-de-Groix, and set our course 201 degrees to cross Biscay to Gijón. It's about 260 miles from here, Hazel, wasn't it? Yeah. And yeah, wind's supposed to be on the nose for the first couple of hours, then it should settle down. Probably got a motor through tonight, and hopefully we'll get some sailing breeze tomorrow. So we've provisioned, we've filled up with diesel, all of that, and we're ready to go. We're going. So it's when they call Chaselet.
Oh yeah.
Well, the wind is forecast to turn, or go very light about 6 o'clock, then turn later this evening. We live in hope. Well, it's dinner time pretty much. Hazel's in the galley. I'll show you that. There she is. And yeah, it was a bit sloppy around the island, but it's calming down now, or settling down now. It's big ocean rollers, as you might expect. Of course, the moment I turn the camera around, there's not a big ocean roller to be seen. Trust me, there are. The Ile-de-Groix is just about disappeared, a little smudge in the distance, but basically gone. We've made reasonable progress considering the conditions. We averaged about 3 knots, I think, and we've picked up a bit of speed now, going a bit better. Wind's on the nose, but that was the forecast. We knew it would be for the first bit. And it's forecast to turn and come behind us later on. So we're looking forward to that. Well, it's night watch time. Probably just a silhouette on this camera. 11 o'clock in the evening. I got the 11 to 2 as per usual. Sea's calmed down. Big ocean rolly stuff around, but other than that, not much in the way of wind waves. Flag's not flying, so not much wind. But that was pretty much as forecast. It's supposed to come tomorrow. Let's hope that happens. A couple of lights on the horizon, probably fishing boats. Distant, very distant. Yeah, that's all there is to report. The second night watch, as you can tell, it's getting towards sunrise. Coming up for 6 o'clock in the morning. Sunrise at 6:15, I do believe. Yeah, I had a good nearly full moon as well, so it didn't really get all that dark in truth. Well, we've done over 50 miles, 52 miles since we set off. The sea has still got the big ocean rollers, but it's sort of flat within that.
Sort of very smooth ocean rollers, I guess that's the way to describe it. Pretty easy going, and we're doing well. So how are we doing, Hazel?
Yeah, doing alright. 194 miles to go.
Less than 200. Yoo-hoo! Alright. And a little bit of fog, huh?
Yeah, just sort of happened. Not too bad though. Visibility isn't.
Local visibility is okay. Long distance not that good, is it?
Yeah.
Bit of sailing going on, obviously. Not particularly fast by the looks of things.
Yeah.
3 knots.
Yeah, high 2s, low 3s.
But it's good to get a bit of sailing in, certainly. Did a few miles without diesel.
Yeah.
Nice. Fog, people, fog. Ah. Sailing across the Bay of Biscay. Seems to be a place of weather phenomenon, doesn't it? Weather phenomena, I suppose. Got fog this time. Last time you had a big thunder and lightning storm when you crossed, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Scared the big jingles out of you.
I did.
Yeah, fair enough.
I admit it. It's scared.
Yeah. I've got a foghorn, but we're not blowing it because we've got AIS, and every commercial ship at least has to have AIS these days. And there's nothing at all on our screen, is there?
Yeah, and before it set in,
we
for
had
hours,
yes,
there was nobody. So.
And the fact that for hours there was nobody means there couldn't possibly be somebody now as well, does it?
Of course you can't assume, but yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. We haven't seen another boat for a long time, and there's nothing on the plotter. No AIS hits on the plotter, so I think we can fairly safely assume there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
And it's also perfectly quiet, so the only vessel that could be out would be a sailboat with no AIS, or of course, I suppose a pleasure fishing boat that's just parked in the middle of Biscay, but that's a tad unlikely, I think. That one. It's that lemon syrup stuff with water, mainly water, obviously.
Yeah.
And luncheon. That's okay there. Well, this is delightful now. Sunny, making decent speed under sail. Got 3 knots anyhow, which is our sort of minimum that we calculated on, really, isn't it? 3 knots. Or,
yeah.
And, seas all blue and sparkly. And nice steady breeze. It's filled in and steadied now, the breeze, which is very, very good. We're making good progress. Swimming upside down, that one. They're rocking the look there, Haze.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm a trendsetter.
Could be something to do with the warmth of the sun, I suspect.
It's pretty freaking hot, yeah.
On the back of the old neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I understand why people tie t-shirts around their heads.
Or wear their baseball caps backwards.
Oh yeah,
Right.
sure. I have a baseball cap, but it's downstairs.
Too much effort.
Thanks.
Well, that looks suspiciously like a bank of fog to me.
There we are. Just come and watch. Talking to you by the light of the plotter and the silvery moon. I've got the 2 to 5 o'clock watch tonight, since it's just after 2 o'clock. Good speed. We've got 145 miles to go. Well, I've got 2 great targets coming up. It's the 132 mile to go is the halfway mark, which Hazel will get on her next watch. And the 100 mile to go is the border between France and Spain, where we can get the courtesy flag up. Alright, hi all. It is about 8:30 in the morning of day 3 of our crossing of the Bay of Biscay. We sailed right through the night. We're just running, dead downwind. Just on the main. The main tends to block the foresail if we're dead downwind, so then the foresail sort of can't make up its mind which side it wants to go, or it's a bit of a nuisance. Okay. So we're running just under the main, which is several of the other owners of these boats have said that's what they do. So it seems to be pretty standard practice with these. Anyhow, making great speed. Getting on well. We are about 124 miles from our destination. The Spanish French border is at 100 miles from our destination, so we should be doing the old courtesy flag ceremony soon. Alright, this afternoon. Yeah, it's great. Blue sky, warm sun, gentle seas, easy going. Perhaps the only thing one could say though is that we're doing 3-hour watches. Hazel's just gone down for sleep, and so you don't get straight to sleep, so you don't get quite 3 hours of sleep in one go, and it's weird. It's hard on the body. I guess you get used to it after a few days, but at the moment we're not used to it, and we're both, we feel it, tired, and spending quite a lot of time in our off watches down below trying to get some sleep or getting some sleep. Well, the weather forecast got it quite right so far, at the very least. We've had, so 14, 15 hours of brilliant sailing now. Downwind or on the beam right now. Excellent sailing all through the night, and hopefully that's going to go on through today. 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Welcome to Spain!
Yay! We may have just reenacted that. Anywho, the big excitement, we've just made 100 miles to go, which coincides with the crossing of the border from French waters into Spanish waters. So we are now officially in Spain. Hazel has been excited about this because we run a dry boat here, which means we don't have alcohol when we're underway. So to celebrate, what have we got, Hazel?
Gâteau de semoule
With
rum raisins.
Hey, a rum raisin pudding.
A scandal?
Yeah. So open it up.
Okay, alright.
It's a French flan thing, isn't it?
Don't let that go overboard.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Hey.
I can't wait.
So, tuck in.
I will.
That's good.
So good.
That is good. And then, of course, we've got the courtesy flag to do. So we just puddings first. Get the order of priorities. Celebratory pudding.
and then curtsy flag. Bom dia, España. What's on the menu, Hazel?
Enchiladas.
Enchiladas. Mm. Yeah. That sounds good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I hope they are.
Yeah, they will be. Yeah, so all going very well. About 92 miles, I think, is it? 93 miles to go. Should get in late tomorrow evening, probably. Well, it's the morning of day 4, just before sunrise. We have exactly 50 miles to go. Right to our waypoint. There's a little bit into the harbour then after that. But, that's very exciting, 50 miles. The plotter calculates an ETA and it thinks it will be there shortly after 5 in the afternoon. So that's nice. That's very good. Motoring, no wind to mention at the moment, although we've had a good sail the last 24 hours. We've sailed most of it, certainly, and I live in hope that we'll get some again today. Obviously we haven't seen a weather update since we left because there's no data out here, but it all looks fairly kindly, and hopefully we'll get a bit of breeze when the sun gets up and warms things up and gets a bit of air moving around. Be lovely. We're going really well. Had a big lightning storm last night, which I ended up, to start with, I slowed down to sort of observe it. I slowed down to a knot and a half or so, just to watch it, see which way it was moving. But then I was fairly sure it was moving to our starboard, so we turned up to port a bit and motored on and avoided it successfully. Went on for hours off the starboard side, with lightning bolts coming down, striking the sea and all that. But we did avoid it, so that was great. And today should be, all being well, touch wood, our arrival in Gijón. Looking forward to it. Glassy calm. Just coming up 1 o'clock midday, and we are just approaching the continental shelf, or just sort of starting. Depth was like 15,000 feet, it's now down to 2,500 feet, and it will soon bank up sharply up to 400 feet. So, and you can see what we've got, which is light fog. It's not dense, but something ugly fog. And I hope that's something to do with this continental shelf. Maybe cold water that's being forced upwards, or I don't know, I'm just guessing. Something like that wouldn't surprise me anyhow. On the other hand, 25 miles to go, so that's really good. So we just had a bite of lunch and just slowed down for these 2 fishing boats. I'll turn you around. 2 fishing boats in front of us. We're going very slowly, trawling. They're on the continental shelf, so you know they're out there trawling. What we don't know is if they're trawling individually or they've got a net strung between them. I suspect individually, because they're not driving perfectly parallel. But it's not clear, so that's a bit of a concern. So basically we've slowed down, we'll let them go past, we'll give them plenty of room, and then we'll get back up to speed.
sailing into Gijón, or Gijón, I believe that's it. Very cool.
Alright. Cheers.
Cheers.
We did it.
Got it.